Welcome back to the weekly recap. I'm Matt Wacker. Well, unless you're over 500 years old, chances are you've never seen a total solar eclipse in our part of Missouri. That's why this summer's celestial event on August 21st is stirring up so much excitement. To get a better picture of how the temporary blackout will affect our communities, Leanne talked to expert Angela Speck and then got the scoop on how one city plans to celebrate.
So the last time we had a total solar eclipse in this bit of Missouri was 1442.
1442.
That's right, before Columbus got here. This is a huge deal. For anywhere in Missouri, we haven't had one in over 150 years, but this bit, it's over 500 years. The path of totality is only 70 miles wide. So even across Missouri, a lot of Missouri doesn't get to see it. And compared to the whole planet, it's 0.1% of the surface of the Earth that gets to see the eclipse. And so this really is, there's this one little place that you want to get to, and mid-Missouri is in the middle of all that.
So even though it's going across the whole United States virtually, which is rare, this is going to be the best place to see it.
So there are a number of factors that make Missouri a good place to come and see it. We don't necessarily have the best weather predictions, but they're not bad. We basically have a 2/3 chance of not being clouded out. You have a lot of hotels, a lot of roads. You've got places to stay. You've got places to eat. And that's just not true as you get further west. But if you go too far east, then the weather deteriorates much more. There are going to be a lot of people coming to Missouri. We're looking at anywhere between doubling and quadrupling the population.
Oh my.
We really need to be ready for this.
The city of Owensville is making the most out of this once-in-a-lifetime event by hosting a 4-day party with Sister City Rosebud. In fact, Memorial Park is only one of the sites where they're going to be welcoming crowds from all over the world to celebrate with wine, food, bluegrass, lots of activities, and of course, primary activity is viewing the total solar eclipse.
We've been at least a year planning this. And the way we looked at it, it's going to happen, and people are going to come whether we're prepared or not, so we might as well be prepared and try to do some good things.
What are you guys expecting in terms of crowds for this solar event?
I talked to a couple of the committee chairs today because we've never really discussed exact numbers and stuff, but much of us are involved with the county fair. We're hoping we can draw somewhere of a crowd like we get on Friday or Saturday night, which is anywhere from 5 to 7, sometimes 10 to 12,000. We're shooting for the 5 to 7 roughly. Yeah, if it's more than that, it will be great, but that's kind of our goal.
Area businesses like the White Mule Winery are going to be involved in the festival. And in fact, all the proceeds that come are going to be put right back into the community. They're building a new youth building at Memorial Park in Owensville. And also, some of the proceeds will go to building the Rock Island Trail right here in Gasconade County.
The city of Owensville had did an awful lot of work, preparing and making ready, this event, because it's going to bring a lot of people.
There was a project we're working on now too. We're reaching out to some of the area schools like St. James and a few others that, from what we've seen, they're only going to have a few seconds of darkness, where we're going to have like 2 minutes and 30 to 40 seconds. So we've invited them to come to our school. We're going to have several viewing areas. We have of course, out to school, we have the Memorial Park, and we're developing a sports complex with the Lions field out there, and it's completely open, and there's no lights out there right now. So that'll be a great area to view, hopefully, there also. We had a gentleman come in and spoke at one of our chamber meetings, and he's seen 2 or 3 of them, and he said it's just a life-changing experience. He said you can't even describe it until you go through it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Going to be big. I mean, there's people from all over the country. From actually, we had people here from Europe, from Great Britain already, just kind of looking it over, and going to be back. Going to bring a group of people out and see what it's all about. So there apparently is a lot of interest in it, from a global sense, and it ought to be an awesome event.
Yeah. We're hoping to generate at least 25 to 50,000, maybe hopefully more, for the community.
In terms of what it can do for the economy of the U.S., but in particular right here in Missouri, if we double the population, that's 12 million people. If each of them spends $100, that's $1 billion of extra spending. So, it doesn't take that much for this to really have a big impact.
Matt?
The recap is really looking forward to the eclipse, and we'll have more coverage up to and including its happening on August 21st. Around 3,000 homes were without power in the West Plains area following severe weather on May 27th. Damaging winds and lightning caused widespread outages throughout the Hal Oregon Electric Cooperative's service area. Around 20 power poles were snapped by the storm, and by Monday, 360 people were still without power. West Plains received 1.6 inches of rain, sprinkled with hail over the Memorial Day weekend. Wind also caused damage from Laclede to Dent County. The National Weather Service says that a particularly destructive swath of straight-line wind dominated 50 miles of our viewing area, resulting in uprooted trees, broken power poles, and damaged buildings. The areas hit hardest were Edgar Springs and Salem, with minor to major structural damage to buildings. The metal roof of First Baptist Church in Salem was destroyed by winds estimated at 100 miles per hour. Remarkably, no injuries were reported. Wagons for Warriors returned to Lebanon over Memorial Day weekend, looking to raise money for our veterans and wounded warriors. A horse-trotting, wagon-riding parade started the event, with lots and lots of food prepared on site for all the hungry folks in attendance. Thanks to your generosity, this year's event surpassed 2016 by $10,000, earning $40,000 total.
My name is Kent Rollins. Me and my wife Shannon run Red River Ranch Chuck Wagon. We go all over the United States. We feed about 28,000 people a year and drive about 40,000 miles. It's a great cause that we come up here for. We leave this weekend open every year just to come up here and help Steve and them for Wagon for Warriors.
You know, I have an opportunity to be able to travel all over the United States. I lost both my legs on the Golden Knights Army Parachute Team back in 1994. I was in a mid-air collision that took the life of my teammate and both my legs.
That's what this weekend is about, Memorial Day and our fallen heroes.
I was on a Ranger team, a Halo team, a Scuba team, a Sniper team, and a Special Forces A team. In one split second, it was all taken away.
All right, on the count of three, Wagons for Warriors. 1, 2, 3. Wagons for Warriors! Awesome.
What greater deal could you participate in? This is probably the greatest event that we do all year long, and it's something that we look forward to give back to those who have served ours. I'm just honored that I could be here and be a part of it, and it's a great group of people that we get to do it with.
Rolla will soon see the arrival of new businesses as the Westside Marketplace takes off. However, according to City Administrator John Butts, the new development won't slow down commerce elsewhere. When asked about the downtown area, Butts said that the presence of housing and the perennial student population would keep downtown Rolla thriving. Rolla City Administrator believes that Rolla West will be a welcome addition to a prosperous local economy. The City of West Plains is executing a plan with BNSF Railway to construct a new railway through town. The agreement states that the crossings on Independence Drive, Howell Avenue, Thornburg Street, Lincoln Avenue, and Howell Valley Road will close while overpasses are being built. The total cost is estimated at roughly $28 million and, per the agreement, must be complete by the end of September. Fort Leonard Wood's 1st Engineer Brigade got to work on May 16th, helping out with storm damage repair. After the bridge at Happy Hollow was washed away, engineers from the 554th and 35th Engineer Battalions put down gravel and asphalt and erected a rapid bridge emplacement to restore the river crossing. The unit saw the exercise as a chance to put skills they learned in training to use in a real-world situation. The Bourbon Police Department recently announced plans for a pill take-back initiative. The plan, announced in partnership with the Drug Enforcement Administration, allows residents to bring in old or unused pills to be disposed of free of charge and with no questions asked. The department says the program is to combat medication ending up on the street or in the local water supply. Congratulations to the graduated classes of both Rolla and Owensville High School. Both schools said goodbye to their seniors on May 26th. Finally, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to get a serious ticket. 36-year-old Spencer White of Santa Clarita, California, went for a joyride with his mom on May 26th in his newly acquired dream car, a 1982 DeLorean. And even though it wasn't capable of sending Spencer to 1955, it did land him a $400 speeding ticket. As soon as Spencer hit 88, he saw police lights in his mirror. The officer asked if he wanted a picture of the radar gun before promptly writing a citation. Spencer saved for 4 years to purchase the famous car and is thinking about framing his speeding ticket. That's all for now. I'm Matt Wacker. Thanks for watching the weekly recap. I'll see you next week. The weekly recap is brought to you by Price Chopper, Cooking from Scratch, the Travers Automotive Group, the UPS Store of Rolla, Beck Motors of Owensville, Bayer Dodge of West Plains, Hangin' by a Thread, Mimi's Home Helpers, and Tailor Your Insurance.